So this is how to win level floor apartment 9. Let's go. So in the first couple of 100 rents, we want big money. So basically, this crow is going to give 4 in 4 spins, 2 each time. So that's 8, and then -3 on the 4th one. So that's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 4 spins, this would only give 4, and then 4 that would only give 4. So it's the crow. So here, I think for long-term value, we'll get the crab and lots of them, right? Is when 2 crabs are together, they get double, like up the top there. So we've got 4 for each of those. Let's take the lockbox here, which can be opened, and then pay that rent. So we've got 2 hexes here. So let's go for the hex of thievery. And we're going to take a checkered flag here so that the magpie, anything like Robin Hood that takes stuff, they take 1 less spin to then give you the money. So we've already got this crow, but it doesn't apply to the crow. It doesn't apply to the crow. So that stole 3. We'll take here the miner, and we'll take a dwarf.
So now we need mining stuff and dwarf stuff.
We'll take a cultist. They're bad on their own, but the more you have, the better they are. We're going to skip this one because we already have a bunch of symbols, but some of them we need things for them to have, so they need space on the board to eat those things. So here we take the lucky capsule and we try and get a rare item. We'll take the small symbol bomb. So there goes the capsule. We got a spirit. Now that's self-deleting and it's going to give 16. It's okay. Now another lucky capsule. This time we get a chef, so he's increasing all foods and drinks. So let's take that. He also will give 2 per turn, so that's better than 1. Right, we've now got another crab. And do we have a dwarf? Yes. So let's take a mouse this time, so that we can feed him cheese. Pay that rent.
We don't want a chick.
Let's take the hex of draining. It gives 3 every time, but 30% chance for any one of the up to and including 8 adjacent symbols, one of them to give nothing. But it's always going to give 3. And we're going to take a capsule machine here for double capsules, and we're going to remove 1 coin. So if we see any capsules, we're going to take them. So we have a dwarf, so we take the wine. It's going to give 2 every time until the dwarf drinks it, and then the dwarf pays us 10 times what it's worth. Now we have a lockbox, so we're going to take the key. That will destroy the key and the lockbox. If we just take the cheese, the mouse is still left over. So the key is going to be better in here. Immediately open. So that's that done. We don't want any of those, so we re-roll. There's cultist number 2. Okay. So we can take a lockbox, so we're now looking for a key. And cultist number 3. So you see how I'm trying to keep just 1 board of items. Right, so a chemical 7 will be self-deleting. And we can take a lunchbox here. Now, what we're going to do is skip that one, open our symbol bomb, and we're going to see what we can add. Now, A hooligan will be able to break urns and tombs, so I suggest that one. And another cultist. And we do have a dwarf, and I think that we have the chef. So we've got options to get drinks from the lunchbox for the dwarf. So there's none there. So I say we skip that. There is a 2 costing peach, we should take that. And here is all 2 costing fruits, of which we don't have a monkey. So it doesn't really matter which one we take. So you can pick.
Let's take the plum, because if later on we get a Mrs. Fruit, she'll eat that.
Exactly, right. So that would be another lockbox, but it's only going to give us 1 until it's open, so we don't want to do that. We could take a toddler, but if we skip toddler and just keep hooligan, dwarf, chef, and miner, we don't want everything. That's how you start to go wrong. So get rid of that.
See, that was a good...
So there's a key for the lockbox that we've got. Now, statistically, the apple should really be better because it gives 3 and it can be doubled by that other guy. But we want to get that lockbox out of there. So that's why I'm taking that one. Now, we have a mouse, so let's here take the cheese. And we can get the urn for the hooligan. So we can go for the lucky capsule and try and get something good, or we can go for a 4th crab. So we already have 4 cultists. So make it an even 4 crabs, I reckon. Pay that rent. Now then, a rabbit fluff would give us 2 every time and luck. Let's get that. A bowling ball will give us 3 every spin. Every spin. And let's remove a cat. So there goes the chest. Cultist doing okay. Crab's on the same row. Take a remove, which will be doubled with the capsule machine. So I could say we can get rid of the pearl and the flower now. We'll take the lucky capsule to see what rare we can get. And remove out that flower and that pearl.
Because we don't want to keep things that are not doing enough.
Right.
At this stage.
This dame will increase the gems. King Midas will flood us with loads of coins, which we don't want. Let's go for a refresh here. So we got Beastmaster, which increases the crabs and the mouse. That could be good.
And the crow.
And we could get hearts, which we don't have any suits, so it's probably a bad idea. The martini will not be used, it'll just give us 3. So let's go Beastmaster. Right, big urn this time. And we're going to get the hustling capsule so that we can get 2 pool balls, which will give us 2 per spin. Some action going on there. Right, here we're going to take the hex of tedium, which gives us 3 coins per turn. And pay that rent, so it was 50 over, not bad. Right, if we got a diver, he could eat all of the crabs and then gain more each turn for him. And then we can feed him more items because there'll be spaces on the board. So that is an option. We already have a hooligan, and we could get 2 more per spin. I think the diver here is going to be better. Here, we can get 2 coins if no symbols are blank. Well, that's going to happen, isn't it? So we got that +2 anyway. Right. So the diver's starting to eat those crabs. So now we have the option to take things for the diver also. And that mouse has ate his cheese, so we can get ready to delete him. A double wealthy capsule give us 20 one turn. Two items, or we could get 10 for 2 tediums. I would say 2 items is going to pay out better overall. We got this grave robber, and the rabbit has a chance to add fur. So let's take a target here, and we can now put I would say the miner, we can put on the list for delete, and we can put a hooligan definitely on the list because the grave robber will kill things automatically anyway. We'll get some luck with rabbit fluff. We have a target, but a bronze arrow is just rubbish, so we don't want that. There is another crab for the diver to eat. So you see how there's a lot of movement on the board. Things are starting to work with each other. That's what you want. So we were 75 over the rent there. We increased more further than where we were before. So we can get a refresh here, and here's a tomb for the grave robber that we've got. We will skip several times, so taking a pink pepper is good. And we can remove now an item. Now, I would say the mouse got nothing to eat, remove that, or we could remove a cherry.
But then the Beastmaster increases the mouse.
1, he will be doubled to
Just
2.
1. Okay.
You got to think the diver is getting 6. Things like that.
Okay.
So get rid of the mouse. But it's a good point there. Right. We don't have a monkey, so getting a coconut doesn't make any sense. So let's skip that one. Right, the oyster, the crab can eat that. And if he makes pearls, he can eat that as well. I mean, the diver can eat. So he just made a pearl and diver ate it straight away. Perfect. So it's 5 spins to get to 450. Now that sounds like it's a problem. So we don't really want this hustling capsule, but we do want the 2 pool balls, which give us another 2 per spin. So let's take it just on this occasion. So we'll go up to 4 pool balls. And that was an okay spin. Another cultist makes sense. So it looks like our spins are okay. Now we already got rid of the mouse, so the cheese won't work. The void creature will delete itself and give us 8. That beats most symbols that we have right now. So 58 for that spin. The 2 spins to make 52 should be okay. A snail for the diver.
There we are.
A reroll capsule. Now this time we're 51 over the rent, because it was going to cost 1 to spin anyway. So we lost a little bit of ground there. Let's take a silver arrow for some multiplications. And we'll take the purple pepper. It gives 5 if 3 of the symbol are adjacent and not blank. That can happen a lot with the cultists. A double remove capsule. I think that was a double reroll there as well. So, reroll cultist and remove. Now our crabs are gone, so we're going heavy in the cultist now. The pearl can be eaten by the diver. Cherry, no use. The dwarf and the miner. Now we haven't used the miner at all, so let's get rid of him. So if we look at what we've got a target which can be hit by the arrow, no problem. We've got a peach and a plum which can be boosted by the chef. We have a Beastmaster that is now going to be doing nothing. So the Beastmaster is next to go. We were looking for some more arrows or a Midas bomb to get rid of the red X's. So let's re-roll this one and take an urn. Now we need to figure out if we're going to go for cards or going to go for a geologist or something. So whatever really comes up with a rare for one of those next, we'll take. So that's what this run is going to be based on. The cultists are paying us good money now. So we've got 71 for that spin. So we've got some cards. We'll just take one speculatively. It's another 72 spin. This bubble will self-kill itself, but what it will do is stop so many cultists coming on the screen, so we don't want to do that. 65. We'll skip here as well. Now that arrow pointed towards one of the cultists and gave him 12. So we'll skip here. So 89 for that one. So rent-wise, we're now doing okay, because we're 88 over that rent. The next one will be 650. So, a wealthy capsule here is going to give us 20, but we're guaranteed to get a rare if we re-roll. General Zaroff will just kill all of our cultists. That's not cool. So let's refresh. We got him again, but we've got a double remove here, so let's take that. We've got a suits cards, and suits items. So let's go try moving into cards and cultists now. So anything that's not that, we can start getting rid of. Let's take that spin, get the 2 removes. Big cultist price there. Now, we still have the dwarf, so on this occasion, we could take the wine. It's going to give us 2 until it gets drunk. If we get the crab, it's going to give us 1 until it's eaten, right? Because the diver's already eaten the other stuff.
Yeah.
So let's get that, and then remove everything chef related, I would say. So get rid of the peach, get rid of the chef, and get rid of that plum there, right? Now, after this, we're going to get rid of these hexes once we get the cultist coming every time. If we get another cultist, we get rid of all the hexes. Because the cultists are getting decent money. So, we did earlier get rid of the minus. The golem's no good. We haven't got a mouse, so we don't want another one. Because we've already gone to remove that, and we haven't got a kid. So, none of those are any good. Right, that diver's up to 14 or 13. Some more luck so that we can get more cards, because we've got red suits here and 1 black card. None of these are helping us. The goldfish can get eaten by the diver. Now that was a pretty bad spin. There's another clubs. 76 for
I
that
think
one.
the Beastmaster can go on the remove list as well.
So with Chemical 7, we've already got 1 piece, so let's take another one. And then we can get an emergency 77 when needed later on by taking another one. Lucky capsule we'll take, because we'll be looking for something lucky for cards, like a joker. Let's see what we get. There's another General Zaroff and Mrs. Fruit. We don't want Mrs. Fruit. We've already got rid of all of our fruit, so let's skip that. We can re-roll dices, but it's better to get 3 for every time we use a remove. We're likely to do that. Let's get rid of this crab as well. There's a crab for the diver. So the arrow was pointing towards the diver and gave the diver 42 there. That's our first result over 100. So let's go for the wealthy capsule. Because we have capsule machine, it will give 20. And immediately we get another one over 100. Let's get another 2 pool balls. So that will be now 6 per spin that we get from David. Here we'll skip. A buffing capsule could buff a load of cultists, and it's going to buff it twice.
That's good then.
It buffed those 2 up there. So they got 24 each. I'm going to skip there. So we've only got to make about 70 to get the rent. Now we've still got 4 spins. And this is on the highest difficulty 9 here. So this is all working perfectly. We don't want any of those. We could have got the turtle for the diver, but whatever. This time we'll actually get the goldfish for the diver because I remembered. So a 73 spin. We're going to skip here. That diver ate his fish. He was hungry. So we're looking for remove capsules. We beat that rent by 205. So easy game, right? We're going to take here a mega chest, which will give 100. We don't have any way to delete it, though. Now, we do have 3 rabbit fluffs, so we can take the lint roller, get rid of all of those, and it'll give us 3 for each one. And it'll clear the board for the cards which we're about to get. Let's remove also the hex of tedium to have the luck that we lose from the rabbits brought back, because we're less likely to get stuff with that tedium. Let's get rid of it. So all them lints have gone. And that's an 80 spin. We're going to re-roll there. Now, we can take another one for it to get eaten and give us 3 one time, or we can get a crab that can be given by the diver, and he can gain 1 every turn from now on. So that makes sense. That's 98 for that spin. Let's go for a void stone. It's self-deleting. Now, we haven't removed the red X's. Now, we did play a game before where I removed both red X's with 1 Midas bomb straight up. But this run is going to show that you can keep them X's there and still win. So here, we don't want any of that. We are looking for a key. Let's skip that one, because we've got a mega chest. Let's get a lucky capsule. And here we can take a wealthy capsule, which give us 20. Even though we're guaranteed the rent, we're over 777. What's up, Jonathan? We can get here a target. We've already got an arrow. We can get another save, even though we need a key. So here we are paying the 7-7 rent. So that is effectively finishing the game on the highest difficulty in 1 attempt. And we used some cultists, which we had 6. That was how many we had. We had 3 blanks. We had 1 turtle, which was feeding to the diver. The diver was at 15. A beastmaster, which was buffing beast, but we was probably ready to remove it. The hex of thievery, which had chance to take money all the whole game. The hex of draining, which gave adjacent symbol 0 30% of the time. A target that never got hit. A hooligan which probably broke a couple of urns only, these 2 and that bigger one, so he was kind of a waste. And we only had the 2 chemical 7s. We didn't even find a third one. So I would say in general that was a pretty bad run through, but it just shows that with some better symbols it's actually pretty easy.
Plus you've got to kind of be firm with yourself and not take what you don't need.
So we didn't take the toddler that time. We had the option to take Mrs. Fruit and go into Mrs. Fruit, but we stuck with the diver this time. We didn't see a geologist 1 time, and every time was offered ore, we turned it down.